So, welcome everyone. Today we have Tanvi Gupta with us. So, she's a PhD scholar in Leipzig University and she's doing PhD in plant science. And she has completed her bachelor in from Delhi University and masters from Kurukshetra University and in plant science. And she secured All India rank 116 in CSIR NET exam. So, here we have Tanvi. Hi, Tanvi.
Hi, Anish.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually very good, and thank you very much for this for the invitation for this post podcast. I'm really excited. So,
Yeah. So you are here as a PhD student in Leipzig University. So how do you feel about this, being a part of such a prestigious institute? So this would be, I would say, many people have a dream to being a PhD scholar in Germany. So you are. So how do you feel about this?
okay, so there are two things. First of all, being in Germany, and second of all, being a doctoral researcher in Germany. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, both of these are awesome. I've been here for like 3 months now.
Mm-hmm.
I came here in August, and Germany as a country, I am liking this very much. The people here, the weather, like everything in general. And for the university, I will say, like, this is really awesome. I
Mm-hmm.
have always dreamt of, you know, doing research and these kind of things. I've always been an academic person. I never really thought of research at first, but right now I'm here, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is the best actually one can get. The
Mm-hmm.
lab, the facilities, the equipments. It's like it's amazing actually.
Mm-hmm. I think you can got every type of facilities what a PhD student needs to have, and it's really kind of good facilities as we are comparing to India. So yeah, it's more about the funding and the
Yeah.
exposure. So yeah, so here we have. Okay, so as you are more interested in plant science, as I see from bachelor's to now, you have done everything in plants. So what spark you to being a PhD student in a botany and plant science, and you also have done something in bachelor's and master's. So what make you interested?
Okay, so maybe this is kind of funny, but I
Mm-hmm.
think this is the case with like 90% of the people.
Mm-hmm.
I got admission in bachelor's
Mm-hmm.
according to the merit list. From the marks that I got in my 12th exams, board
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
exams.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
at that time, I didn't have that idea like I want to go for plant science or I want to do something with zoology or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. I
Mm-hmm.
just loved studying biology. It was
Mm-hmm.
like a fixed thing, but
Mm-hmm.
I got admission in botany. And
Mm-hmm.
at first actually I was a little worried. I was not able to make my mind about this because
Mm-hmm.
like up to class 12th I wasn't very interested in plants. We didn't have many important lessons about plants and everything. We always studied humans and animals, and it was very
Mm-hmm.
interesting. But when I got into Delhi University and I started my studies for plants, my interest got developed eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed working with microscope and like section cutting and everything. Maybe you won't understand this because you are not from this field, but I must tell you that you know many of my friends who will watch this, who are
Mm-hmm.
from plant science, they will understand. Like
Mm-hmm.
cutting a section, like a thinnest one-celled section, it
Mm-hmm.
gave us so much peace. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
really interesting. So during my bachelor's, I developed this interest, and then I decided that I want to pursue this in future as well. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I did my masters as well in botany, and then I'm doing my PhD in botany as well, in plant science basically.
Wow, wow, interesting. But initially you came with the plant science accidentally, right? What you
Yeah.
have mentioned. Yeah, so
Yeah.
interesting. And it's developed your interest and all. Now you are a PhD student, and after that, maybe you are doing some kind of research, being a scientist or being a professor at some university. So it's really good to hear that
Yeah,
you, yeah. Nice. So can you explain a bit more, a bit about your bachelor or master's experience, if
yeah.
something interesting you want to share with students?
Interesting. Actually, the whole bachelor's degree was interesting. I think
Mm-hmm.
this is with everyone. Like your bachelor degree, your first time you are in college, it's always amazing. The most amazing time of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And being a student in Delhi University in one of the most prestigious college, I felt really lucky that I got
Mm-hmm.
admission in there, because before that I didn't know very well. Like I didn't know the names of the colleges or anything. I didn't know anything about Delhi University. But when I
Mm-hmm.
got there, I got admission in Daulatram College, and
Mm-hmm.
Daulatram College is actually ranked number one for plant science,
Wow.
which is actually a very lucky thing. I felt
Mm-hmm.
really lucky. So yeah, and the facilities there, they were so good. Like at a bachelor level, you won't get that much facilities in
Mm-hmm.
lab for working
True.
in lab, and
Mm-hmm.
the professors, the teaching, everything, the environment. Obviously, Delhi University of Delhi, it's like every student's dream. They always
Mm-hmm.
dream of going to Delhi University. It's like a craze or a trend, something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in perspective of education and in perspective of lectures, labs, and everything, it was really nice. And for my masters, I did it from Kurukshetra University. It
Yes.
was really good. I
Mm-hmm.
met some great professors there who helped
Mm-hmm.
me a lot for my future things as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, I have had like this great experience of my bachelor's and my master's.
Interesting. And being a part of Delhi University that you have mentioned, it's really nice. And also, you have mentioned about some of the professors. Yeah, so it's really good to have such professors who really motivate you, or
Yeah.
uh, give you the better suggestion for your career. Yeah, it's really good. And I also have the experience of some such professors. So it's really pleasure to being a student of them. Yeah. So, yeah, can you name some of the universities in India where plant science people can go, or the botany students can go there?
Okay, for plant science, like Delhi University,
Mm-hmm.
I've already mentioned. There is Punjab University, which is also great. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I have the little bit knowledge of North India, because I've
Okay.
only been in North India. I've never
Mm-hmm.
been to
Mm-hmm.
South India or the East India. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, I have seen like in Delhi University, people from all over India, they're coming
Mm-hmm.
there. So I
Mm-hmm.
think this is one of the key factor, like to mention, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't go very far if you have a university nearby at your
Mm-hmm.
home, nearby your hometown. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Delhi of University, and there is Punjab University as a central one. And
Mm-hmm.
for bachelors, I think people prefer these two in North.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't have much idea about this, but yeah, these two. For masters, there are many options. For
Okay.
masters, there are many institutes
Mm-hmm.
and many different kind of universities you can apply to in North, and there are many in Central India as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, is there anything happening in IITs or NITs in respect of plant science?
Yeah, actually, it wasn't very much, there was not very much scope of plant science earlier in
Mm-hmm.
IITs and NITs, because they
Mm-hmm.
were basically for engineering and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
from last many years,
Mm-hmm.
they have this course. They don't have particularly botany, but they
Okay.
do, but they have like subfields of botany. Like they have biotechnology, which you can
Mm-hmm.
go for. Like
Mm-hmm.
I had the preference that I don't want to be indulged in this specific part. I
Mm-hmm.
want to keep my options wide. So I went
Mm-hmm.
for botany. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can go for IITs and NITs if you want to study specifically a in a particular field of botany.
Do you have any name of any NITs or IITs, or mm, okay,
Name for
if not, then we can skip. No problem, because I think you have more aligned towards the option to having a PhD in abroad, right? But
yeah.
as you have cleared CSIR NET and JRF, so do you have anything in your mind to, if one can look into the PhD options in India? So, do you have anything in your mind, any notable institutions for the PhD particularly?
Yeah, if you have JRF, this is really good thing. If you have
Mm-hmm.
JRF, you can apply anywhere in India for PhD. You
Mm-hmm.
have there is an institute NIPGR that I applied to personally.
Mm-hmm.
It's National Institute of Plant Genome Research. It's in New
Mm-hmm.
Delhi. It's a
Mm-hmm.
prestigious institute. It's amazing, and
Mm-hmm.
they have like great scientists there who
Mm-hmm.
teach you, who guide you, and who are your supervisors. There is
Mm-hmm.
one. You can also do your PhD from central universities as well, from central government universities,
Mm-hmm.
and you can do PhD. You can apply in IITs and NITs as well.
Okay, so coming to your PhD application, Dev, what you have explored more for coming abroad and particularly in Germany as you are here now. So could you explain something about your PhD application, like how you have thinking or how you have applied, and do you have any experience, particular experience which you want to share initially? I am going to ask you in very detail the every process, but let's start with the very broad what you want to share initially.
Okay, so first of all, the idea of getting a PhD abroad. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
that as I said that I cleared JRF in my masters. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously, I wasn't thinking of doing my PhD abroad when I was in
Mm-hmm.
masters, because I started preparing for JRF when I was in masters,
Mm-hmm.
and my initial goal was to do my PhD in India, because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have much idea about how to do PhD. And it's like this is it's like there's a normal thing, like you do your masters and then you are doing your PhD in India.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my JRF and everything. But after I cleared my JRF, it was
Mm-hmm.
like a sudden change of mind. I don't know what happened, but suddenly, like I saw one or two people around me who
Mm-hmm.
were applying abroad and who were already in other countries for their PhD.
Okay.
And that time I had this thought that maybe I can apply to this. Maybe I can try a bit more to do my PhD in a better way. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how the thought came into my mind. And I had this JRF thing with me. So obviously, everyone told me to
Mm-hmm.
join PhD in India.
Mm-hmm.
But you have this feeling that you can do
Mm-hmm.
more than this.
Yes.
You can do
Yes.
better than this, right? So that's why I started uh, not applying. I started asking people about it. I asked one of
Mm-hmm.
my professor in masters. He helped me a lot. He gave me
Mm-hmm.
a basic idea of what a PhD would be like in other country, in any European country. I didn't have any idea about where to apply, which country to apply, which
Mm-hmm.
continent to apply. Like this is the
Mm-hmm.
most basic thing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I asked many people around. I asked many of my friends, many of my professors,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, then like by few months, I was
Mm-hmm.
getting an idea that yeah, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can apply, and maybe I can improve myself in this way.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I
Make
got
your
this.
mind.
I got this kida in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to do my PhD abroad. I can't do this here. I don't want to do this in India.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do it in a better way.
And you made it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so the very initial question when people like any student will have maybe where to find the advertisement, like the very basic thing to any kind of PhD position in abroad. So where you find?
From all the research and everything that I did, there
Hmm.
are two basic options to apply for
Okay.
PhD.
Hmm.
The first is you apply directly from the official websites. There are many websites. There are many listings. Like there are UD Access, and there is academic position, and there is
Hmm.
Agristock. There are many websites uh, on which there are vacancies which are updated on a daily basis from different
Okay.
universities in different
Hmm.
countries, like in many
Hmm.
countries, not just
Hmm.
Europe, but in all over the world, many countries. So
Hmm.
you can go through that profile, that websites. You can scroll through those websites, and you can just see if there are any vacancies in your subject of
Hmm.
interest.
Hmm.
and you can apply from there. There are all the instructions mentioned on those websites. The second way is to apply directly to a professor, like to
Hmm.
email them to
Hmm.
the professors. If you like find there is a vacancy in a
Hmm.
project here in
Hmm.
abroad, and you see there is a name of the supervisor of the project, so you can
Hmm.
directly email that. You can go through that supervisor's that professor's profile on
Profile, yeah.
university,
Hmm.
and then you can just email him or her about your
Hmm.
interest and why do you want to apply and how much experience you have
Hmm.
and why are you suitable for this project.
Hmm.
And it's a long shot, I must
Hmm.
say.
Hmm.
It will be a long shot because they get like thousands of applications, thousands of emails every day. Everyone is
Hmm.
interested in some project.
Hmm.
So if they find your message interesting, if they find your research experience interesting or your profile very interesting, your CV very interesting, they will email you back, and then you can continue that process further.
Hmm. So you have mentioned some of the platforms where you can find the advertisement, and my question is it something only for the plant science, or it can be optional? It can be option for the other topics, like maybe in the mathematics, physics, or something other.
No, no, no. It's like for all subjects, for
Okay.
every kind of research area. This is
Mm-hmm.
like these are some basic sites. So you can find any project which are available, any vacancy from any kind of research area and subject.
Okay. And do you also have done the random Google search for the advertisement?
Yeah, I have done a lot of Google search for
Mm-hmm.
these advertisement. But yeah, actually, while doing this,
Mm-hmm.
for 1 or 2 months, I wasn't getting anywhere. This takes times, obviously. The process, the
Mm-hmm.
people have to understand that the process takes time, a
Yeah,
lot of time.
agree.
So I was going through Google for different websites, and then
Mm-hmm.
there are different websites. I was scrolling through different websites as well. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
getting anywhere. Then
Mm-hmm.
just I found this. There is a mentor. I
Mm-hmm.
found him on Instagram.
Okay.
Actually, this is a very good thing about Instagram. This
Mm-hmm.
is like Instagram, it's not only for scrolling reels and everything, it's actually
Mm-hmm.
good in some way. We'll talk about
Yeah.
this later.
Okay.
So I found this mentor who actually guides people for their PhD.
Mm-hmm.
So I contacted him, and then he also uh,
Encourage.
go through the CV,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
if he wants to talk to you, then he will talk to you. So because he
Okay.
also have a lot of applications,
Mm-hmm.
so then I emailed him my CV, and
Mm-hmm.
then he helped me a lot for this process. So yeah, I'm very
Mm-hmm.
thankful to him as well that I'm
And
being here.
did you find anything from LinkedIn, or have you find like after coming here also, have you seen any kind of advertisement on LinkedIn? Do you also
Yeah.
suggest people to check out the LinkedIn?
Yeah, LinkedIn is actually a very good platform. You should have an updated profile on LinkedIn, because
Mm,
if you approach a professor, it
mm,
there is a chance that he or she may check your LinkedIn.
mm,
If you are messaging someone on LinkedIn, they will go through your profile as well. So it is very
mm,
important to update your profile on LinkedIn, update your exact experiences and
mm.
latest things on
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
yeah.
And there are many vacancies that are listed on LinkedIn. So it's
Mm.
very helpful.
Okay. So I think after doing some random Google search, Google by default suggesting you some of the things what you have searched as, and in that way you also come across some kind of advertisement. Do you have experience with that?
It's like, yeah, if you search for one thing, the Google will show you related
Yes.
things. This
Mm.
is normal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but I always searched on Google for different websites on which I can
Mm.
find vacancies. So
Mm.
I just made a list of many websites, and then I went through all those websites, not on Google.
Mm. So initially you already have some name of the website so that it would give you some kind of filter, right? So yeah, it's good. But do you, as you have mentioned that you have approach to professor directly. So my question is how welcoming they are. They have response, like they are responding very frequently, or like I can also ask you in the different way. If you are sending a mail like for to 10 professors, and then how many of them is responding? Do you have any number in that way?
Okay, so funny thing, for the project that I am here, I
Hmm.
applied to that professor directly. I emailed her.
Wow.
I There was no official listing of the project that I am working on right now.
Hmm.
So yeah, the professors, yeah, they are really great. I won't say that you will get all of the answers if you send like 10 emails to 10 different professors. You won't
Hmm.
get all 10 replies. It's very
Hmm.
rare. But
Hmm.
yeah, like 90% of the times the professors, they mail back to you. If they
Hmm.
have a project, they will mail back to you that there will be a vacancy in future. You may
Hmm.
just go through the website daily and maybe you can apply to them. And if they don't have anything, they also reply back to that as well, that we don't have anything right now, and maybe you can approach in next 6 months, and then we
Hmm.
will see if we have any vacancy. So they don't just leave you hanging, which is a very good thing. I felt like
Hmm.
it is a great thing. Many of the professors, like most of them, they reply back to your emails, but it's just a matter of patience and waiting, because it's not like you have mailed someone today and you will get the reply tomorrow. It's not like that. Maybe you have
Hmm.
to wait a week or maybe 2 weeks, but
Hmm.
yeah, eventually you have some replies, if they want you or if they don't have any vacancies, that as well.
Hmm. But how do you find to which professor you should mail or which not? How do you find it?
Oh, that is a long process. But
Okay.
yeah, you should have a notebook with you when you are
Hmm.
trying to apply.
Hmm.
You should. What I did was,
Hmm.
I made a whole list of universities in different
Hmm.
countries. I
Hmm.
categorized them in different countries in Europe, which
Hmm.
are mostly like English speaking countries, because I prefer English speaking country.
Okay.
So I made a list of all the countries and the
Hmm.
top plant science universities in those countries. Then
Hmm.
I went through the profile of each university, like one
Hmm.
by one, and I
Hmm.
went, and then you can find the department, your specific department, your subject of interest on that website, that
Hmm.
they have plant science, or they have general botany, or they have plant physiology, or they have
Hmm.
plant biotechnology. They have everything. So you
Hmm.
can go to that specific department as well, and then there will be a list of professors who are
Hmm.
specific to a research area. So the first thing that you should have like clear idea about is your research area, your
Yes.
interest, like what do you want to
Hmm.
study.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
the
The
most
very
basic thing.
important thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the actually the most important thing, because
Hmm.
if you don't have that much clearance that you want to do something in plant physiology or plant
Hmm.
biotechnology, because these are both very different, so
Yes.
you won't be able to find professors. Like there will be a lot of departments in lot of universities. You should have a clear idea about what do you want to study, what do you want to research on, and
Hmm.
then you can find different professors. And I made a whole list of professors there, and then I just started emailing them and then
Hmm.
applying to the vacancies.
Hmm. But how do you shortlist like which would be your interest? Is based on your master thesis or something what you have done, maybe kind of internship during your masters or something you have read during your master's course, or is it something from your bachelor's?
Actually, during your masters, you eventually
Hmm.
develop an interest in a specific area. Like botany, it's
Yes.
a very wide field. It's very wide topic. You can't do
Okay.
everything.
Hmm.
So during your masters, you always have one or two specific like subjects in which you are interested in, which you like really enjoy studying and
Hmm.
doing research on.
Hmm.
So yeah, that one as well. And also there are like when you work on your master's thesis, this is
Hmm.
not my case, but in general, when you work on your master's thesis, you
Hmm.
actually become very confident in that topic.
Hmm.
And it's like obviously it's the thing that you want to continue this in further studies. So
Hmm.
this is how you have an idea about what do you want to study in further in your PhD.
Okay, so this is how you have developed your topic. But I will come to topic in which you are working now, but maybe the later. But let's stick with the process of applying PhD in abroad. So as you have mentioned that you have also applied in the different countries, and you have mentioned the non-English speaking countries and in English speaking countries. So can you name the some of the countries, and also can you say something about the different application process of the different country which you may have from your experience?
Okay, so yes, I applied to many countries in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I also, just for trial and run, I also applied to Australian universities as well. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you search if you Google plant science PhD, so it will have like some of the top universities, they are in
Mm-hmm.
Australia.
Yes.
So they're first Australia and then UK. There are two
Mm.
things.
Yeah.
But what I have experienced is that if you want to pursue your PhD in Australia, you should have
Mm.
major research experience. Like they
Okay.
ask for two to three publications at least. The
Mm.
minimum requirement is 2 to 3 publications and
Mm.
1 or 2 years of research
Mm.
experience, which
Mm.
I didn't have. I didn't
Mm.
have the research experience because my master's ended in 2023. It
Mm.
was completed in 2023 June, and
Mm.
I started applying like a few months after that. So I didn't
Mm.
have that research experience, you call that, like internship
Mm.
or anything for
Mm.
that sake.
Mm.
So while applying to Australian universities, I this was the thing, because many
Mm.
professors, they emailed me back and they
Mm.
told me that this is the basic bare minimum requirement, that we
Mm.
need these publications and these research experience. So this is the
Mm.
case. In
Mm.
Europe, it's I will say a little bit easy, because they don't always ask you for publications and your
Mm.
research experience.
Mm.
But yeah, there are some universities, if you are going for like world's top universities, you
Mm.
should have, this is like normal thing, you should
Mm.
have a major experience and
Mm.
like many publications to
Mm.
start with in your masters, or in your time during your masters before your PhD, you should have that.
Mm.
For countries, I tried Germany, I
Mm.
tried Denmark,
Mm.
Switzerland,
Mm.
and there were Finland. One was in
Mm.
Finland,
Mm.
and I think, yeah, there were these were like 4 to 5 top countries that I applied to. I preferred English speaking countries, so I applied to these ones. Sweden as well, they have very good universities there. I
Mm.
applied to these universities, and I actually got the reply from most of the professors there. So
Mm.
in Europe, they don't ask for publications.
Mm.
Not necessarily. If you have it, it's a plus point, but they don't
Mm.
it's not like a requirement. But
Mm.
yeah, you should have it. And they ask for research experience, like what you have done in your thesis. This is the most important thing. Master's thesis is like very important
Mm.
thing when you interview for a PhD position here.
Mm.
They actually ask you all about, because that is only the one thing that you have done so far, which you can
Yes.
show.
In terms
So
of research.
yes, so
Mm.
master's thesis is kind of important, and different universities they almost have the same thing for the plant science.
But like you have mentioned about something about Finland and Sweden and Denmark, and you told me that you are more interested on non-English English speaking countries, but they are non-English speaking countries, and you have applied in Australia as well. And do you have any experience with UK? I think you taken the name of UK, but you didn't say anything about. So have you any experience with UK
Yeah,
and or US
actually, I
at any
searched
point?
about universities in UK.
Hmm.
There was one university that I was very interested in because of a professor.
Hmm.
She's a major author. She's the main author in one of the paper for plant
Hmm.
science, and I
Hmm.
got her name through that. And
Hmm.
I actually emailed her, and I felt really lucky that she emailed me back, because I didn't think
Hmm.
she will email me. She's like
Hmm.
this big personality or something. I felt
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, in UK as well, you got to have some experience, and your what you say, this research experience
Hmm. Hmm.
and publications is also important there.
Hmm.
It
I.
depends on the kind of university you are applying to. If you are
Hmm.
applying to like
Hmm.
world's topmost universities, they will ask for these things.
Hmm.
So this is the case.
Do you have any experience with US?
No, I no, because one of also one of the most important thing is funding.
Mm,
The PhD positions in Europe, they are fully funded. So that's
mm,
why Europe is like leading continent for PhDs.
mm-hmm.
And in USA, most of the projects, they are not fully funded. You have to
Okay.
pay like some kind of
Partially, yeah.
yeah, partially for your PhD. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that option. I needed fully funded position for my PhD.
Mm-hmm. And in US, what I understood based on my experience, it is more about the university thing, that your funding is come from the university always, and also you are going to register there as a student. But here in Europe, or particularly in Germany, you are a scientist, so you are a guest scientist here. And but in US, I don't have any idea about the Finland. Maybe what you have, maybe you have some idea because you have taken the name. But there is something also called in US and Australia, you also there as a student. So in Germany, you are first here as a employee of the university, being a scientist, and after that you are a student. So this is the some kind of different case. But do you have any application related experience in Finland or in Germany, if you want to share something?
So okay, for there were many positions that I applied to, and it's like when you apply to a vacancy, either to a professor or to the official website, you get a call back, like you get the email from them that they are ready to take interview, which is like the second and the final step, most probably, for a PhD position. So I got the interview call for two different projects. One is
Mm-hmm.
here in Germany, which I am currently doing, and one was from Finland. It's
Mm-hmm.
for University of Turku. So I
Mm-hmm.
interviewed for both of them, and they were like not much, but they were a little bit different. The projects were almost similar. It was basically on plant science.
Mm-hmm.
So in Finland, the interview process was a bit different. They asked for a presentation of my
Mm-hmm.
master's thesis, on
Mm-hmm.
which they decided on my communication skill and
Mm,
on the way I present my work and everything.
mm,
Here, I didn't have that thing. In
okay.
Germany, in the interview that I gave for the German university, they didn't
Mm-hmm.
ask for like this PPT or everything. They just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to talk to me,
Mm-hmm.
to have like a general knowledge of how do I communicate, or
Mm,
what kind of work preferences I have, how like for a work preference, like how much do you think you can work, and
mm,
are you able to work on weekends or not,
mm,
are you really just, it's like some
mm.
people are there who will just deny that no, I can't work on weekends. It's like that.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
these kind of things that they asked
Mm-hmm.
me in the interview. So
Mm,
not, they were not very different, I will say,
mm,
but yeah, just a little bit difference. It depends on professors as well. Some
mm,
professors, they like to have this presentation thing, but
mm.
some don't prefer it. So yeah.
So you had more like the general question in interview. So there was the one step of the interview, or there were the multiple interview you faced in your current position?
In my current position, there was single interview round.
Okay.
It was just this interview round where she asked me everything, where she asked me what I did in my past, my masters, my bachelors,
Mm-hmm.
and all other general things about my work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And in Finland, it was a little bit different. In Finland, they first interviewed me. They had this presentation. I gave them the presentation. And then for the second round, they didn't interview me, but they
Mm-hmm.
asked me to write a research, what you can say, to write like
Proposal kind of thing. How you
one
want
page
to?
summary kind of thing of a
Mm-hmm.
paper. They
Okay.
gave me this task that this is the paper,
Mm-hmm.
or this is
Mm-hmm.
the topic. You
Mm-hmm.
can research about it, and
Mm-hmm.
within this, with this 1 week, you have to have a one page summary, maximum one
Mm-hmm.
and a half page summary about this,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can see your writing skills and your
Yes,
research qualities, that how
exactly.
do you read a paper. It's actually very
Mm-hmm.
important in a PhD.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this was the difference.
Okay. So can you maybe suggest something while preparing CV for particularly applying in abroad? And maybe can you explain a bit about the cover letter, what people should keep in mind while writing the cover letter for applying PhD position in abroad? And is there something, can we vary with the different countries? And can you also explain a bit about the writing a mail to the professor, what one can keep in mind while writing the email?
Okay, so for all the European countries, it's the same. The format is kind of same. It doesn't
Okay.
vary that much.
So
For
right now you are explaining about the CV or cover letter.
CV,
Okay, CV. Okay.
yeah, for the CV, there are two or three options that you have.
Hmm.
There is one European CV format which is available on Google.
Okay.
You can refer to that as well. They have this format in which people here you make their CV. So this is
Okay.
more like comfortable and more approachable to the professor if you have
Hmm.
this format.
Hmm.
The CV should be very simple, obviously. There should be no like drawings or anything like
Hmm.
anything. It should be
Yeah.
really plain and black and
Hmm.
white only. It should
Hmm.
have your name, your email address, your phone number.
Hmm. Hmm.
You should always start with education
Hmm.
in descending order, like your masters and your bachelors. And there is no need to mention your 10th and 12th because that's
Hmm.
not necessary for a PhD here.
Yes. Hmm.
So in masters, you can just add a little bit of sub points in your masters. Like for me, I mentioned that I cleared JRF, which
Hmm.
was kind of a big thing for me. So
Hmm.
I mentioned that as well in one point. I mentioned
Hmm.
my thesis title as well because
Hmm.
this is very important for
Hmm.
my batch and your score of masters and your PhD and your sorry bachelors, the
Bachelor's.
CGPA, the
Hmm.
final CGPA that you have.
Hmm.
So yeah, in both of them, I mentioned that. And after that, you should have your work experience. If you have the work experience, you should mention that. If you
Hmm.
have the internships, you should mention that.
Hmm.
And one main part is the skills column. There is a skills column in CV in which you
Hmm.
should mention the different categories of
Hmm.
your research area. Like I had uh, plant physiology, plant biotechnology, and microscopy. There are many things in
Hmm.
botany which are
Hmm.
important. So you should have these subfields and you should mention what exactly have you performed or what exactly do you know, like the equipments and how to use different instruments. You should mention that because it is
Hmm.
important.
Hmm.
So skills part is important, and you can also mention that you have experience in this research writing thing, the thesis
Hmm.
writing thing, that
Hmm.
you know how to write a paper.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You have an idea of how to write a
Hmm.
paper, so you
Hmm.
can mention
Hmm.
that as well in your skills.
Hmm.
And I think after that yeah, there is, you can mention a separate column for other achievements kind of thing, which is like you can
Hmm.
add different kind of your co-curricular activities. It's not
Hmm.
very necessary, but
Hmm.
maybe within two or three lines you can mention it. It's just a plus point of yours if you have those.
Hmm.
And for me, I also mentioned two of my master's professors contact,
Hmm. The
because
reference
if
list.
yeah, reference
Hmm.
contact, because
Hmm.
if you are emailing a professor,
Hmm.
she can contact the professors. And
Hmm.
actually, many of the professors contacted my master's professors because I was in
Hmm.
touch of them the whole time.
Hmm.
And they emailed them about how was I being as a student, and how much do you think potential Tanvi has.
Hmm.
They got all these questions. They told me
Hmm.
about this. So yeah, I had these two reference contacts
Yes. Yeah.
for
Hmm.
my CV as well.
Hmm. And about the cover letter?
For the cover letter, the cover CV is one thing that you can make once and then you can just apply everywhere. For the
Okay.
cover letter, you have to make a new cover letter for every position, obviously,
Hmm. Hmm.
because the cover letter will include, first you should have the address to the of the
Hmm.
university which you are applying to, the professor name and the address of the university.
Hmm.
Then you should first you should state that I am referring to this position which was
Hmm.
advertised on this website. They
Hmm.
will know that you are going through that website
Hmm.
and they got this vacancy from there. And
Hmm.
after that, you have like two to three lines you can explain what this project is about. They
Hmm.
already know about this project,
Hmm.
but you mentioning about that project will mean that you have studied about this project.
Hmm.
So yeah, you have in just in two to three lines you can mention that.
Hmm.
And after that, you have to explain to them why are you suitable for this project, which is like
Hmm.
the main part of your cover letter.
Hmm.
Why this is the like very general question, why would we hire you? So this is the
Yes.
answer to that question.
Hmm.
You should have enlist your experience, your research
Hmm.
area, your interest in your research area, and
Hmm.
why do you want to apply to this position,
Hmm.
and what special qualities do you have regarding this project. Like
mm,
there are certain requirements for a project, that you should know how to do qPCR, and you should know how
mm,
to do RNA extraction, DNA
mhm,
extraction, and you can
mm,
say that I have done RNA extraction in past,
mm,
so I think I'm suitable for this, I can do it.
mm,
So that part would be like your major part of the cover
mm,
letter,
mhm.
which would impress the professor, and then they will email you back. And
Yeah.
there is an ethical part as well,
Mm,
where you can, like, in 3 to 4 lines, you can explain that why do you want to pursue PhD, like what
mm.
made you uh, PhD. Doing a PhD is a very big step in a life.
Yes.
You can't just think one night that I want
Yes.
to do PhD and then you can just
Yeah.
opt for it.
Yeah.
You have to really prepare your mind for
Mm.
it, that yes, you want to do it, because you have to indulge your complete time, your
Yes.
24 into 7 hours into this. So you
True.
should have this clear confident thing in you that yes, you want
Mm,
to do PhD. So you can,
mm,
in 2 to 3 lines, you can mention that you want to do PhD, you because you have future things. Like for me, I have this aim of becoming a professor one day.
mhm,
So I mentioned this, that I want to become a professor. It was like a dream of mine from last many
mhm,
few years, and
mhm,
to do so, I got to have my PhD. And
mm,
as, like, in my masters, I had this research kind of thing, that yes, I want to do this, I can do this.
mm,
So you should
mhm,
mention that as well, like not very much in detail, just in 2 to 3 lines, to make sure that yes, professor is understanding that yeah, this student is really confident and really interested in this project.
And about the email is more about the what you have mentioned in cover letter, or it's something different what you want to.
In email, yeah, it's almost about the cover letter. You don't write a very long email because that's
Mm,
just exhausting to read. They
mm,
get like many emails on a daily basis. So
mhm,
you don't have to mention everything that you mentioned in cover letter. But yeah, you
mm,
can just say that I saw this position here and there is a project here and I am interested in this. I have this major
mm,
experience, because
mhm,
you will email your CV with that email. So they
mm,
will have then an idea about your education and everything, your research experience and everything. So you can
mhm,
just, in 2 to 3 lines, you can explain that this is the project and I have major experience in this in the
mm,
past, and I think I will be a suitable candidate
mm,
if you allow me to explain further over interview or
mhm.
anything. So that's how you write an email.
So I think you talked about the email, what one can look for the after looking the PhD positions. But what about if you are mailing a professor who don't have the PhD position, or you have no idea is whether either they have or not. So for that, what you have to write on the
Like there are many positions, there are many professors who don't have an ongoing, like, vacancy, ongoing project which you can
mm,
apply to, but you
mm,
want to ask him or her that maybe
mm,
there will be an opening in 1 or 2 months,
yes,
or maybe in
yes,
6 months.
yes,
It's a long shot.
yeah,
So you email them about their research area, that
mm,
there is a particular research area that every professor is working. So you email them about their research area. I emailed this as well. There were many professors who didn't have much any vacancy or anything, but I was interested in that university, in that research area. So I
mm,
emailed them about that I saw your profile on this university website, on this official website,
mm.
and your research area is this, and I have interest in this research area because I have done some work in the past, and this is how you email them.
So you well explained about the cover letter, but I have a question like how long the cover letter should be, like the
Uh,
pages in
yeah,
terms of
for the
pages.
cover or motivation letter, they are both the same. You
Mm-hmm.
should not have more than 1.5 pages. Actually, they prefer 1 page, which is like the best thing. But if you
Mm-hmm.
have some content, like if you have major research experience, you want to explain them to the professor, so you
Mm-hmm.
can have like 1.5 pages. 2 pages are maximum, and 2 pages are actually not preferable. So just keep it from 1 to 2 pages only.
Mm-hmm. So you have experience with the different countries, and as the different countries have the different mm, I would say the different designation for the PhD fellows. So here we have the designation as a scientist in Germany. So there are other countries, as I have mentioned, that there is a position which called PhD student, as we also have in India. So is that something different for the visa perspective? What if you want to share something about?
In I know for 2 countries, like I
Mm,
got the offer from Finland and from Germany, both of them. So I searched for both of them. Obviously, I
Mm-hmm.
then had a pros and cons list and everything for that.
Mm-hmm.
So in Germany, we have this guest researcher visa,
Mm-hmm.
which states that you are employed in this country. You will be employed when you will arrive here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different kind of visa
Mm-hmm.
from any other. It's not work visa, it's not student visa, not at all. It's you are employed here, so you have
Mm-hmm.
this guest researcher visa. We are guest researcher here, so we have this kind of visa. In Finland, it was a little different. In Finland, you have to apply for resident permit while
Mm-hmm.
you are in India. Like, if you are planning to stay in Finland for more than like 2 months or maybe 6 months, you have to apply for the resident permit visa.
Mm-hmm.
I researched about this, and it's not like student visa, not there as well. Everywhere here, I think for PhD you have this employment kind of thing. So you are not a
Mm-hmm.
student here anymore. You don't have to apply for student visa. It will be it will be something with the employment, and different
Mm-hmm.
countries have different name for that. Just a title is different. So Finland, in Finland, they had this resident permit thing. There were
Mm-hmm.
like permit A, permit B, different kind of things were there.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to apply for that in advance in the first place, and you will get the visa for 1 year. Then you can extend it. In Germany, you can apply for guest researcher visa, and you will have it for 6 months or 1 year. It depends. And it then you can when you are here, you can extend it further.
Yeah, so as you have mentioned about the residence permit, so yeah, so the residence permit is, I would say, is the same as the we have the visa. So here in Germany, you have to apply for, if you are coming here for the postdoc or PhD, then you fall into the category of applying the visa is guest scientist, and it depends if you are applying into the other country, like as I have mentioned about the US. So if you are going in US for the PhD, then you have to apply in the category of student. And as you have mentioned something about Finland also, so there is also the directly the name called resident permit. It is not about the visa, but yeah, both are same, so doesn't matter. But yeah, just for the information. So can you explain a bit more about your topic of PhD, what you are doing now? Because we have, I think, discussed everything about the application process in detail, but we, like as you also explain about your interest, how you come across with the plant science, so it's really interesting to hear from you what you are doing now as a PhD student in Germany. So looking forward to your explanation, Tanvi.
Okay, so for you, I think it will be a little bit boring because
Mm-hmm.
listening to a PhD project of someone who is not from your field, it's a little
Mm-hmm.
bit different, I will say,
Mm-hmm.
because I've experienced this as well. But yeah, I am currently working on brassica crops and
Mm-hmm.
the nitrogen metabolism. In a
Okay.
broad way, I am working on
Mm-hmm.
nitrogen metabolism in brassica crops, in the
Mm-hmm.
field crops. There are
Okay,
the
so my
brassica.
question is, what is brassica? So please be general so that I can understand, because I think I have discussed with you already. I can understand, but please be in more general way so that other people can understand. Those have no idea about your field. So please don't use the
Okay.
brassica. It's like sunflower,
Okay.
right?
Okay, I'm really sorry about that. I
Yes.
will now understand. I now understand how to explain this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everyone has heard of mustard crop. Mustard
Mm-hmm.
crop in botanical terms, it's brassica.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on mustard crops, and
Mm-hmm.
there are many fields here in Germany, and where we have this mustard crops, just like in India. And
Mm-hmm.
these mustard crops, they have a bit problem with nitrogen.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, for the nitrogen metabolism,
Mm-hmm.
to explain this to all the people, we
Mm-hmm.
have these fertilizer things in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone know that we
Mm-hmm.
use nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium fertilizers for the
Mm-hmm.
normal growth of our crops, right?
Okay.
So in brassica, the problem is the plants are not able to utilize nitrogen,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the reason we don't get much yield from brassica.
Mm-hmm.
And the main part in brassica which we are interested in mustard, I'm sorry, in
Mm-hmm.
mustard, we are interested in the seeds of the
Mm-hmm.
mustard plant, because from that
Mm-hmm.
we will get that oil, which is mustard oil,
Mm-hmm.
which we
Mm-hmm.
use
Mm-hmm.
in general. So to reach for the plant to reach at the stage of seed development, it should
Mm-hmm.
have a proper growth.
Mm-hmm.
But in brassica, the problem is there is nitrogen deficiency because plant is not able to use the nitrogen from the soil.
Mm-hmm.
And before it can reach to that stage where the seeds are developed, where the
Mm-hmm.
flowers are developed, it actually dies before that.
Mm-hmm.
And if the crop is dying before that, we don't
Mm-hmm.
get anything. We don't
Yeah.
want the leaves or the roots. We want the
Yeah.
seeds. And the
Mm-hmm.
seeds will be there at a particular time at a proper development stage.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, you have to keep the plant alive and in a
Mm-hmm.
proper growth condition. And for that,
Mm-hmm.
we use fertilizers. But because of this nitrogen deficiency in brassica, in
Mm-hmm.
mustard, people use more and more fertilizers to make them
Mm-hmm.
grow, and this actually affects the soil, the environment, and the
Mm-hmm.
plant, as well as the food chain. We
Mm-hmm.
all know chemical fertilizers, they are bad, they are
Yeah.
everything, everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So we can't use, it's like we can't use tons of fertilizers just to make the
Yes.
plant grow and have the seeds.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do
Mm-hmm.
that. We have to
Mm-hmm.
optimize the fertilization.
Mm-hmm.
So I am working on that optimization of nitrogen fertilizers on the field
Mm-hmm.
of brassica. And I will be doing that through some molecular techniques, like I will be doing RNA extraction, RNA sequencing. There are many different terms. These are all part of molecular biology. So I will be performing those here, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, at a conclusion,
Mm-hmm.
I want the main result that I want to get out of my
Mm-hmm.
PhD is
Mm-hmm.
that I want to have a specific time period where
Mm-hmm.
the plant is having that deficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can see from eyes that the leaves are yellowing, they are falling off, we can see that from our eyes. But
Mm-hmm.
what is going on within that plant
Mm-hmm.
before the yellowing of leaves, before the
Mm-hmm.
leaves die?
Mm-hmm.
What is happening inside the plant? I want to
Okay.
research on that, so that
Mm-hmm.
I can have a specific time period of when the leaves start to yellow, and
Mm-hmm.
I can provide the nitrogen fertilizer before that, so
Okay.
that the leaves won't die and the plant
Mm-hmm.
will stay alive. Because we generally use the fertilizers
Mm-hmm.
at an early stage and at a later stage. We use twice in a crop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the thing that happens is that we don't have a perfect timing for fertilization, which
Mm-hmm.
is very important. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter if we apply fertilizers, the leaves will eventually die here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the reason that I want to research on this topic, that to get a specific time period of when the plant is having this nitrogen deficiency in it, so that I
Mm-hmm.
can just provide the fertilizer at that specific time, and then I can have a normal crop. And that is a way to optimize the nitrogen fertilizers as well, so that I don't have to apply more and more of fertilizers to the
Mm-hmm.
crops. So yeah, this is just a broad term for that.
Good explanation. I understood. And it also looking forward to response from the general public in comment section if they understood or not. So
Yeah.
thank you for this explanation. Maybe can you give any tips or tricks or any kind of suggestions or recommendation uh, the students who are still looking for a PhD options in abroad from India?
Yeah, so first thing, like many people have um, approached me when they saw that I was coming here for my PhD. They asked me, many of my colleagues, many of my juniors, they asked me about how to do this, how to do that.
Mm,
One thing that I am like I want to share is that
mm,
you first you should have you should have this confidence that you
mm.
want to do PhD.
Yes.
The first thing is that from what I have seen from people, the thing is they don't know what to do about, after masters, and they just
Mm.
say, yeah, we'll do PhD.
Let's do the PhD.
No, that is
Really the
the worst thing you can do
yes.
with your life, because doing a PhD requires like your life, your whole life. It
Yeah.
requires your whole life for like these 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you should have a clear idea, first thing, that you want to do PhD, you want to indulge in research, because PhD
Mm.
is all about research. It's not about theory and giving exams like masters.
Mm.
It's about research. You have to research for a topic for like 1 week, and then you will get a negative result at the
Yeah.
end, and you will
Negative
say that,
result.
my one whole week was wasted,
Hmm.
and you can't do anything about it. You have to move further. So
Hmm.
you have to have this specific confidence in you that you have to do this PhD.
Hmm.
I want to do
Hmm.
this. I really
Hmm.
want to do this. Second thing, you should have a specific research field in your mind. It's
Hmm.
not like you can apply to any research field on
Hmm.
the vacancies. It's not like that. It
Hmm.
doesn't work like that. You should have a
Hmm.
specific area of research, that I want to do my research in this particular field of botany, or in
Hmm.
any subject for say.
Hmm.
Next thing is, while applying, you will have negative responses like 90% of the times, and positive
Hmm.
like 10% only.
Hmm.
So you
Hmm.
gotta have patience, like a lot of patience.
Hmm.
I applied to many positions. I don't even have a number for this,
Yes,
because
true.
in my case, I didn't have research experience. I
Hmm.
didn't have this research experience in my master's thesis as well. My master's
Hmm.
thesis was purely theoretical.
Hmm.
So, if you have this case, you gotta
Hmm.
have this patience a bit more, because
Hmm.
without research experience, the professor cannot make sure that you are eligible for this, because you haven't
Hmm.
done anything in that field. So how can you be sure that maybe, yeah, you can work on this, and we will research about this, you are selected. So if you don't have research experience, it doesn't mean you can apply here. You can't apply here. You can apply here. You will get a job. I am
Hmm.
having a job. I am a live example. But
Yeah.
you gotta have patience. You got to have this struggle thing, that yes, you want to
Yeah.
do this. You have to
Hmm.
make the whole list of universities and
Hmm.
everything. The vacancies that don't require the research experience and everything, you have to
Hmm.
neglect them. You have to apply for those that does not require like these research experience and
Hmm.
internships kind of things.
Hmm.
There are vacancies here, no doubt, but you
Hmm.
just have to fight for it. You just have to struggle for
Hmm.
it. You have to work really hard for it. And yeah, you have to be like, the way people scroll Instagram, you have to
Hmm.
scroll those websites. You just
Yes.
leave Instagram for a few months, and just
Hmm.
have this scrolling on LinkedIn and on these websites, because
Hmm.
these are the these are the platforms where you will find many people, not only
Hmm.
professors. I actually contacted many people who were on LinkedIn, and who were doing their PhD in different universities in different countries. I
Hmm.
contacted many of them. Like, I just sent them like, hi, this is Tanvi. I want to do this. I'm trying to
Hmm.
this,
Hmm.
and I saw your profile. You are working
Hmm.
here and here. So can you
Hmm.
just help me? Can you just guide me a little bit through the process, or what is the
Hmm.
process in this university specifically,
Hmm.
or like
Hmm.
this? So you have to like make a lot of contacts for this. Don't be
Hmm.
shy to message people about,
Hmm. Hmm.
because
Hmm.
you have to be clear that yes, I want to do this. And when you ask people, it's like people are really helpful.
Hmm.
I got to know that yeah, people are really helpful, and
Hmm.
they do reply to your messages and everything.
Hmm.
So actually, I got much help from LinkedIn, much
Hmm.
help from LinkedIn. And
Hmm.
yeah, the thing that I mentioned about Instagram, that I saw
Hmm.
this mentor on this.
Hmm.
He's maybe an MBA here, I don't know.
Hmm.
He's MBA, and he's doing some job, and uh, as a like part-time thing, he is
Hmm.
guiding students for PhD, which I feel
Hmm.
is really great. He is
Hmm.
utilizing his weekends
Hmm.
for students in India who want to
Hmm.
study in these European countries for their
Hmm.
PhD.
Hmm.
He helps with your documentation and everything.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was a great thing. I had his contact, and yeah, he helped me a lot for this as well. So yeah, this is my take home message. Like,
Yeah.
first, be confident that you want to do PhD and what field you want to do PhD. And then when you start applying, have patience. Have
Hmm.
work hard for it, really hard for it, but also have patience, because I applied for 4 to 5 months, and after that
Hmm.
I got these two responses, positive responses. So it
Hmm.
takes a lot of patience to do that. I almost lost my patience in the mid, because I was so frustrated. Everyone gets frustrated, because
Yes.
it's a human instinct. I got so
Hmm.
frustrated, but I had like my family was there to support me,
Hmm.
which is a very big thing. They always
Hmm.
supported me. They always said that no, you will get this, you will get this. So yeah, that's kind of a motivation as well.
Hmm.
My friends were there to support me. All of my friends were there. No, no, you will get it. You have much
Yes.
potential. You will get it. So
Yeah.
yeah, you will have people around you. You just gotta
Mhm.
have patience, and you should apply like on a daily basis for these things.
Yeah, thank you for these tips to the students. As it seems that you are more active on Instagram, so if you allow me, then I can give your Instagram handle and LinkedIn handle into the description section. Are you okay
Yeah,
with it?
that I love Instagram. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, so it's not like I spend much time on Instagram, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone does. But yeah, I like having these little vlogs and everything because
Mm-hmm.
having PhD, yes, I want to do that. This is my main goal. But I also
Mm-hmm.
have small little dreams of mine that
Yes.
I want to do this, I want to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very much active on Instagram.
Yeah,
You can
so
mention that.
everyone should have some kind of hobbies that,
Yeah.
despite of the works, yeah, that you have, it's really good. So I would say something to the student. It's really that if you are looking forward for the PhD options somewhere in Europe, or maybe if you are looking forward in India as well. So doing a PhD, it's like a roller coaster ride. So sometimes it's like you are going into very down phase of your research, and sometimes you are feeling like, yeah, I am on the top of the world. So it's really a roller coaster, so you have to be prepared for this. And also, as you have mentioned that about something about coming here in Europe or somewhere in abroad from India, and it's really difficult to find a good position and be secure that position. It's really going to be a tough, because you are competing uh, with the different countries, persons who really have their good minds, right? Because right now you are not competing on the country basis. Right now you are not on competing with the all India basis. Right now you are competing with the all world basis. So you have competitor from the different countries. It's like the international, and their studies and all things might be different what you have. So yeah, it's really required a patience you must have while applying, and you have to be like always be like always think positive that you are going to have. And definitely the friends and family is always there for you, supporting for you. And please don't hesitate to contact me or Tanvi if you have any kind of doubts. We are going to put our profiles, LinkedIn and Instagram profiles or handles into the description section. But yeah, thank you so much, Tanvi, for invite for accepting my invitation. It's really pleasure to talk to you. And yeah, if something will be there in future to have some more discussion about any kind of thing of in respect of plant science, or any kind of thing with the PhD students or master students, so I would also like to invite someday again for the another podcast. But for the time being, yeah, thank you so much, and bye bye.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anish, for having me. Okay, bye bye.
Yeah,
See you.
bye bye, see you.